Modern day Star Wars is trash. I agree, and this is by Nerdrotic.
Do you miss it? The Order.
I miss the idea of it. But not the truth. The weakness.
Yeah.
There was no future there.
Ooh. Man, he only got stabbed by a lightsaber. Now we know that lightsabers aren't even deadly. I think forks are probably more deadlier in the Star Wars universe than these things. Why didn't he survive? Plus, well, you know, Palpatine probably survived this part, so, I mean, yo, he's alive.
One must destroy in order to create.
We have to prepare
Nice.
for the worst. And hope for the best.
Nerderotic.com.
Oh, Jesus.
Greetings, you over 863,000 practitioners of common sense and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. Just a few short days ago, Disney Star Wars
Oh, look at that shirt.
got some really bad news. The Galactic Star Cruiser at Disney World closed forever. A
Oh,
black eye for the House of Mouse,
no.
and it's such an embarrassment that even
Isn't this like their second super expensive ride that closes down because Disney does not understand the concept of, well, making everyone who attends this park pay the equivalent of selling their kidney for a single ride on this attraction is not exactly good business.
the access media is finally starting to ask what went wrong. Well, that answer has been the same as it's been.
Hey! Don't touch my green skinned waifu who's whatever this is. I'm probably gonna lick.
For almost a decade, Kathleen Kennedy. Unfortunately for Lucasfilm, but fortunately for us, the bad news doesn't end there. The permanent closure of the Galactic Star Cruiser comes just a few days prior to Ahsoka's finale dropping. And
Yo.
coincidentally, we just learned a couple of days ago through the Nielsen's that Ahsoka's ratings are dropping. Right out of the top 10 overall and down to number 5 in streaming originals behind shows like The Wheel of Time and being completely destroyed by one.
Oh, the Wheel of Time even is better than that? I watched 2.5 episodes of Wheel of Time, and then I forgot it exists. It was that absolutely atrocious. Sad. Just sad.
One Piece. And Disney stock is dropping to a 10-year low. But
Nice.
not to worry, because Ahsoka, prior to the finale airing, already won an award. Was this award for the most effective brainwashing of a dwindling fan base? The most
Nice.
historic achievement of failing upward by an incompetent
What kind of award can you even win?
female executive destroying a beloved intellectual property created by a man? No, believe it or not, it was an award for
Women.
Lucasfilm wins big.
Ah.
Ahsoka earns the Sophie Seal of female empowerment. And now that Ahsoka is quickly approaching its conclusion,
It's over. No one can call Ahsoka bad now. They got the Sophie seal of approval. Oh no. What now? You can't do anything.
on D+, the Critics' Choice Association's Women's Committee is recognizing the show for its female-driven storytelling written by a man or someone who identifies as a man by awarding it the Sophie Seal of Female Empowerment in Entertainment. What the
Damn.
hell is that? Let's find out. A press release on Monday confirmed that Ahsoka is the latest recipient of the Sophie, which celebrates outstanding new films and television series that illuminate the female experience and perspective through authentically told female-driven stories. What? According to the statement, Ahsoka received a perfect score in the numerical formula that the organization uses to determine if new titles, which are nominated by the CCA Women's Committee members, are eligible for a Sophie. This includes having a prominent female character arc, giving female characters at least equal screen time to male characters. Well, no problem there with Ahsoka. Having
That's beyond true. Okay.
female leads behind the scenes and passing elements highlighted in the Bechdel test. Ahsoka received a
What is a Bechdel test, Steve? Did they create a what? What is that? A test to determine how women Wait, that wouldn't work nowadays.
10 out of 10 score, and I'm not going to argue with that. So well done. Ahsoka won an award.
Okay, this is what I can't. You know what's the worst part about Ahsoka? I think heel versus babyface mentioned this, and it's so on fucking point. This is essentially everything Ahsoka does. Well, are you ready? Yeah, she just crosses her arms and that's her personality, okay? It is absolutely ridiculous. When you see it, you can't unsee it, by the way. That's the best part.
For women simply existing in a TV show. The Force is female.
Well, also, everyone else has crossed arms constantly. It's just so dumb.
All knew that, but here's the problem. It was a joke. Alison Bechdel. The Bechdel test was a joke. I didn't intend for it to become a real gauge. Anyway, when we last checked in with
Yeah, I'm still clueless what the Bechdel test is.
Ahsoka, we were following the adventures of boring women in space in search of balls that will lead them to a ring, which is called the Eye of Sion, which is totally not.
Even lesbians use fake dildos. Let that sink in. Obviously, these ones are in the search of balls. It just makes sense if you think about it.
It's supposed to be confused with the Eye of Sauron, but don't worry, the Lord of the Rings ripoffs are just beginning. Our award-winning girl bosses are on the hunt to track down the last remaining toxic males in the Disney Star Wars universe. You gotta give Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni credit. They are thorough in their abject failure.
It's another female lead. Oh my god.
Oh!
So what's happened since then? Previously on Star Wars.
This is probably unironically the best piece of dialogue they have written in the show. It's just a sigh and a look and soon to be crossed arms, probably.
You really believe that?
Nice. Is this an Anakin moment? Yes, it's an Anakin moment! Not crossing the arms. Let's go, baby! Anakin, cross your arms, you filthy male. Do it! Cross it harder, queen. Oh no, he's doing the hands behind thing arms.
Anakin.
I Vadered!
Yeah.
Vadered!
Outside of that,
Nice.
nothing happened. A colossal, pointless waste of time. Again, at this point, Disney's just desecrating a corpse. A once beloved, male-dominated franchise that a lot of women liked turned into an intersectional feminist fever dream.
Nice.
And this can't be stated enough. Disney has done the impossible. They have taken the world's most popular, most beloved.
I can't wait, by the way, on Disney now to further iterate on the fact that everyone has the Force. Now, admittedly, that was a thing that, you know, the prequel showed us when the test was done, you know? And they said, well, everyone has Mandalorians in them. And, you know, that means everyone technically has access to the Force. But, I mean, the idea that everyone has access to the Force just so ruins the whole existence of Star Wars, honestly, in my opinion. It's too hard to explain. The fact that everyone has the Force makes Star Wars so beyond pointless, honestly. It's just insane. But the Force is female, so, you know, maybe not everyone has the Force.
Beloved, most indestructible cinematic franchise and reduced it to a category on a fledgling streaming service. And the pattern with D+ shows, be it Disney Star Wars or Disney Marvel, repeats again and again. Starts out with hype, the keys start jingling, and it's followed by disappointment.
Please, it was my fault. Sonny, it was my fault. I hit
You know what's even worse than this, honestly, though? The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is definitely worse than this. But, you know, for all the faults that The Walking Dead has, and it does nothing, right? Except one thing. At least they make good cliffhangers for the next episode of The Walking Dead, okay? They do that really good, okay? The people who are doing the cliffhangers for the next episode, which, by the way, turns out to be the last 2 minutes of the next episode, and, you know, it mills on like that. At least they do that really good. Star Wars does nothing good now.
I started to fight with him, please, sorry.
Sure, we saw some ships flying, Jedis leaping. We saw some cute little creatures speaking their cute little creature language.
Kidding. Slap it!
Bumblebee tuna.
Also, fake YouTube reactors can make their excruciating reactions.
Get up, come on, I can see you there.
Cool, a new creature. Oh, I know, it's so exciting.
I love Star Wars.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
There were a lot of smirks. There were space whales with hyperspace buttholes. Unfortunately, we were missing important things like characterization and a story. I've read coloring books with more
Bruh, you don't need stories. That's so passé.
Complexity than this. So, through episodes 1 through 7, what did we learn? Well, the New Republic is an incompetent matriarchy when presented with indisputable holographic evidence that there were Force users that killed an entire ship's crew, destroyed the ship, and
how did they kill them with lightsabers? They're probably all alive.
Stole a valuable prisoner who just so happened to run one of the biggest shipyards for the Empire. And on top of that, they knew about Moff Gideon, which means they had to know about the plot surrounding Baby Yoda to take his blood, create an army of Beskar armored dark troopers, create Force-sensitive clones of Moff Gideon to incorporate in that army, and after 7 episodes, the New Republic still says,
nah, it'll be fine.
To be fair, that's
I mean, true, honestly, technically, yeah, it will be fine.
Completely consistent with everything we've seen from the New Republic in the entirety of Disney Star Wars. And the character of Morgan Elsbeth remains the shining example of what a Disney girl boss is, which coincidentally mirrors perfectly what your average female Disney diversity executive is. Devoid of personality and soulless. What are her wants?
By the way, in this show, what is the Kathleen Kennedy self-insert, do you think? Because previously it was Rey, but I think every show needs a Kathleen Kennedy self-insert. I just don't feel comfortable if that's not the case any longer, you know? The times are changing, what can I say? So, you know, what is this show's equivalent of Kathleen Kennedy?
What are her needs? What's her motivation? I have no idea. What's her character arc? I can answer that. She doesn't have one. Remember the Marok?
Well, that's a good arc. If you don't have a character arc, you can't really fail the character arc, you know? That's big brain.
Remember the Marok theories? Is he Ezra Bridger? Is he Mara Jade? Is he Galen Merrick? Is he Baby Yoda? Is he Ephraim Zimbalist Jr.? Turns out he was just a fart in the wind, literally. Then there's Ray Stevenson Schnauzer. Again,
yay!
What does she want? What's her goal?
To be a girl boss, probably, right?
Aside from asking a lot of questions.
Why Lothal? What happens when we find Thrawn? What is it, Master?
I mean, to be fair, what happens when we find Thrawn is a reasonable question that the audience probably should understand at some point.
Do you know the one she seeks so desperately? Do you miss it?
You won't help?
Shut up, bitch!
Now,
my favorite thing is this is the thing that bad writing does, okay? It's my favorite thing. Every bad written thing constantly does this, okay? They have no idea how to make something interesting, how to explain something, or point at something being important. So bad writers will do this, and they do it constantly. Every show with bad writing just does this, okay? Whatever the goal is, whatever the current thing is, whatever that you're trying to achieve, accomplish, go to, is, they're just gonna speak about it very slowly and mystically and, you know, all around it. You're never gonna have an answer like, you know, what is 2 plus 2? It's 4. That's not gonna happen. These writers are always gonna do this. But what is? 2 plus 2? Is it 3? Maybe it's 4. Or maybe it's 5. Now, the truth of the 2 plus 2 will soon be upon us. Do not worry, my Padawana. We will soon, you will soon see the truth of the 2 plus 2 dilemma and how it will change everything. Yeah, that's pretty much what they do. The more mysticky you talk about something that should be probably explained in 2 sentences so everyone understands what's happening. No, they're gonna do it like that because they don't know how it's supposed to end, what's gonna be in the middle, how it's gonna happen, or why that even fucking matters. So if you make everything in some kind of mystic voodoo shit, then well you can't fail that part, and this is what everything that's written bad does.
Baylan did say she was trained to be something else. Maybe we'll find out what that is by the final episode. This brings us to General Hera, and let's just pretend I haven't watched some of the Rebel episodes, and let's just pretend I came into this show cold. The only thing I would know about this
also, by the way, a lot of people try to defend this show and say, oh, you need to watch the Rebel Clone series and shit. Dude, even if I watched this, that was like, what, 10 years ago or something like that? I don't even remember what it was. I watched it, but I don't remember a single thing about it, honestly. Yo, it's completely wild. I just remember the octopus guy getting blown up by the stormtroopers and the cool elite stormtrooper dudes. That's the only thing I honestly remember about it. So, having the expectancy or the gall to tell someone, oh, you need to watch the Clone series to actually understand what's happening here? No, that's just stupid. Fuck off.
Character is she likes to take her child on dangerous missions, which, again, to be fair, is a bit of a tradition here at Disney Star Wars.
Din, what's your position?
I'm over the flats with snub fighters in pursuit.
And the other thing I know about General Hera is she's a general.
Classified.
Ah.
I'm a general. Nothing's classified to me. Well, when you're a general, you can disobey orders too.
I do seem to remember Hera from Rebels having somewhat of a personality, but that's not the case here. Then, of course, there's those gratuitous ass shots. See, I can be positive about the show. Then there's Lord Baylan.
I mean, there's only one alien race that you know the name of in Star Wars, and that's Twi'lek. I even know how to pronounce it correctly. What is Chewbacca? I don't fucking know. I don't care. But what is a Twi'lek? I know exactly what a Twi'lek is.
Played by the late Ray Stevenson, who was a really nice guy. I got to hang out with him for a day in my comic shop.
Oh.
May he rest in peace. Who was easily the best thing in this show, but it's because of his mere presence alone. Unfortunately, his character turned in to be like every other character in this show. Nothing. Despite his little Pekingese asking him question after question, he really didn't answer any, and his character started to sound like the Sphinx from Mystery Men.
That sort of power is fleeting. What I seek is the beginning. The enemy of our enemy.
Also, by the way, I love these scenes when they're just looking out into the distance. Yeah, that's fucking deep, Master. So deep. Oh, so deep. I can't even see it any longer. Great stuff.
It's the beginning. The enemy of our enemy is our friend. For now. I see what once was the great witch kingdom of the Dathmiri.
He who questions training only trains himself at asking questions.
True!
What? We do know that he felt called to something in the other galaxy where Thrawn and Ezra were. Maybe we'll find out what that is in the final episode. Then there's Ezra Bridger from Rebels, and again, if you hadn't seen that show, you would have no idea who this guy is, other than it was someone Sabine very platonically liked. That's why when Sabine found Ezra, it was the single worst reunion of two characters no one knows, with all the emotional impact of returning to work on Monday. And it's impossible to ignore the main character of Ahsoka, Sabine, our sassy, smirky, go-girl.
By the way, this is a Star Wars tradition at this point, okay? You name a show Ahsoka. Well, you think considering the show is about a woman, that the show would actually be about a woman named Ahsoka. But no. This is a Star Wars tradition at this point. Whatever the show is, the true show is about a side girl character that turns out to be the real main character. It's a tradition at this point, okay? Let's not even try to think about it.
Boss on her hero's journey based on your average garden variety 2016 SJW who spent most of her time on Tumblr. She has impenetrable makeup and is a character who is about as exciting as a room temperature glass of water. Just look at this scene after she risks it all on the hopes of saving Ezra after she thinks she got her master Ahsoka killed and betrayed her entire mission.
It's fine.
I was hoping for a room with a view.
Again, she thinks her master Ahsoka is dead and she couldn't give a crap. And no, there has been no reference at all, not even a wince, since she was stabbed in the gut with a lightsaber. Now, once again, if you haven't watched Rebels, who the hell is Sabine? What does she want? Outside of finding her very platonic friend Ezra, which she has done and doesn't seem that excited about. Well, let's keep in mind that this is mystery box bullshit, and Sabine is on the hero's journey, so we will most certainly get our answer in the final episode. This show is called Ahsoka. Unfortunately, our titular character...
Well, they just, honestly, I think misspelled the name, and it was just a coincidence it was Ahsoka.
Character is one of the worst things in it. She likes chasing balls, her lightsaber ability is less than stellar. She really doesn't like showing things like emotion or doing...
Dude, by the way, the choreography of this is so terrible. There's a reason usually people who actually, you know, understand sword fighting and things like that get a place to sit at these shows and explain things how they should work. Because if you have even paid the slightest amount of attention to what happens in these battles, it is just sad, okay? It is beyond sad. The choreography of those fight scenes is just, ha-ha! Then the enemy just does, wah-ha! And wah-ha! It's like it's some kind of play or something like that. I don't even know what to honestly call it, but it's just so bad. It feels awkward, it doesn't feel real at all, and it just feels bad.
Doing anything like changing a facial expression. She does like to cross her arms, and as much as I hate to say this, Rosario Dawson was completely outdone by the younger version in the pointless flashback. Yes, the show is named after Ahsoka. Yes, Ahsoka is in it, but it's not about Ahsoka. But we did find out Jedi can get knocked out and float in an ocean for half a day without drowning and have a 10-hour dream about Anakin that other Jedi can hear. Well, you know that big bad Grand Admiral Thrawn from the now defunct extended universe, and he also appeared in Rebels that everyone's been looking for this entire show?
Yeah,
well,
he's an
in
idiot.
the 6th episode of an 8-episode series, Ahsoka finally finds Thrawn. How? She travels in the mouth of a space whale. And let's not forget Thrawn, from the EU anyway, is the most brilliant of the Emperor's minions. He has risen to power thanks to his tactical brilliance and cunning, and has been described as one of the most threatening antagonists in the Star Wars universe. He is an unparalleled military strategist and tactical genius who has made extensive study of military intelligence and the artwork of other cultures. Unfortunately, in what I saw with Rebels and this show, not so much. Looks like he's let himself go a little bit. As Razor Fist puts it, he has the posture of a seahorse. Of course, being a male character in live-action Disney Star Wars, he has to rely heavily on a group of women, notably Lucasfilm middle management, the Night Sisters of Dathomir. Thrawn honors Balin's word and allows Sabine to go to find Ezra, which she does within an hour without equipment after fighting off 5 or 6.
Also, by the way, there's so many ridiculous, stupid parts in that. First of all, it's he who gives the information, so why even have her? What's the point of it? If you're the one giving her the information where to look, like, why not just fucking look for yourself? I mean, nothing makes sense in this show. I guess that's kind of the point, honestly, right?
Guys, then Thrawn double-crosses Sabine by sending out Balin and his Shih Tzu to go kill them. The Master Strategist also knows Ahsoka is coming and allows her to choose her own path to stay one step ahead of her. Our heroes are reunited, and Thrawn's plans seem to be thwarted, except he was one step ahead of them. He was just wasting their time while he loaded up his special packages from Space Columbia, which is interesting. While Thrawn was wasting Ahsoka and Sabine's time, this show was wasting ours. And we can't forget Anakin Skywalker. You know, the guy whose story ended in Return of the Jedi, and probably the only real character what's left of the Star Wars fandom tuned into the show to see. And like this show, it was completely pointless. After Ahsoka is defeated by Rey Stevenson, she floats for hours in the ocean and has a dream about the world between worlds, where we go down the Memberberry Highway and we get to see a de-aged Anakin with a young Ahsoka going through things like the Clone Wars and the Battle of Mandalore. And was he trying to teach her some deep, meaningful lesson? Was there a dark revelation?
No.
Is she really talking to Anakin? Or is he just in her head?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't care.
And neither did the writers, because apparently it was just her imagination trying to talk her into living after being in the ocean for 12 hours. But that's not the only cameo. Oh no, apparently Anakin created 20 training videos for Ahsoka, and there's one more Anakin cameo after this.
Oh
my god!
That's a lot of Anakin.
Nice.
So in the Ahsoka finale, we're setups
gotta-
fulfilled.
Hey. At least Disney understands they need to do that much, okay? Say what you will, at least Disney understands that needs to be done, because that's gonna get viewers, okay?
Questions answered. Were there any major revelations? Were character arcs completed in a satisfying manner? The short answer is no. The episode opens up with Morgan Elsbeth getting a promotion from the Lucasfilm management, which looks like your typical Lucasfilm job evaluation.
Do you pledge yourself to the sisterhood, to the magics, to the old ways?
Then they make her a
Wow.
fox sword, which, I'm not gonna lie, is leading up to a battle for the ages. Oh, I'm sorry, the middle-aged. When we last left our heroes, they were desperate to stop Thrawn from returning. So desperate that they're moving slowly with a bunch of snail people having a chit-chat on top of the ship. This is a point where Disney Plus
Makes
analytics
sense.
dictates something needs to happen. Luckily, our heroes and male feminist ally are attacked by 2 TIE fighter pilots that find the working conditions under Thrawn so horrible, they're worse than making iPhones in China. That's the only explanation I can come up with, since they decided to end it all. As Thrawn prepares to leave with his special packages from Space Columbia, the Star Destroyer takes off as slow as the skybase crashed in Black Widow. And our heroes are out to stop them, and that's right. We've got 3 Jedis and 2 wargs. Guess who's sitting bitch?
Nice.
The master strategist Thrawn, who I have to remind you has an entire Star Destroyer, entire battalions of troops, entire squadrons of pilots who can fly multiple ships, who currently has a Star Destroyer, quote-unquote, raining hell on our 2.5 Jedi, and completely missing, decides to defend from...
Yeah. Those things are, by the way, supposed to be able to bomb planets. I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day, you know? The cutbacks. I mean, laser weapons are probably not cheap.
From a ground assault from 3 people by putting troops inside. They fight some zombie stormtroopers, which might have been a good idea, but not here. Come to think of it, the zombie stormtrooper thing would have come in handy a couple of episodes ago. But all of that is immaterial because everything was leading to this groundbreaking event. The historic first all middle-aged female HR management lightsaber duel. That's right, Ahsoka.
This is just the saddest fucking thing ever, honestly. It is. It really is. You can't even make fun of it. This is just as sad as it looks.
Katano and Morgan Elsbeth in a duel to the death, fighting like middle-aged women. And the hero's journey is complete.
Yay!
Screw Luke Skywalker, what a pussy. It took him 3 movies. Sabine only took 5 minutes to become a Jedi. She helped open a door, she got a lightsaber on her own, and she helped Ezra marry Poppins onto a Star Destroyer. Go! Although that last one might have been too many transgalactic tacos instead of the Force. Thrawn gets away. Sabine abandons Ezra on a Star Destroyer. Also, she could be with her lover. Master Ahsoka. Master and submissive. Master and apprentice slowly walk back to Snail Town and look at stuff for a long while to pad watch minutes for Disney+. Ray Stevenson's Cocker Spaniel joins the indigenous people that she just met yesterday. And both he and his little pug got a combined 0 lines of dialogue in this episode. Ray Stevenson
To be fair, I think 0 lines of dialogue is pretty good and appropriate. You honestly, do you want to hear the dialogue? Probably no. At this point, you just want it to be over.
Stands on the pillars of Argonath looking towards Mordor, paying homage or outright ripping off a better story. Lord of the Rings. There's the Eye of Sion, which is totally not like the Eye of Sauron, which I know is from KOTOR thanks to Garrett, and I don't care, they still ripped off Tolkien. There's also the Wargs, Ahsoka the White, and the Pillars of Argonath.
Makes a lot of sense.
This is what happened last night with the videos showing this fireball in the sky, and then bang, almost like some kind of explosion that we see from a war zone, and a huge plume of flame.
J.R.R. Tolkien's grave bursts into flames and then explodes.
And smoke high into the air in the Oxfordshire night time.
To be fair, that explosion in Oxford probably had a little bit to do with some pent-up energy from the Rings of Power as well. So Thrawn makes it to Dathomir. Somehow Ezra, disguised as a stormtrooper, including the helmet, while piloting an Imperial shuttle, finds the ships of the New Republic that didn't exist the last time he was in the galaxy. And Sabine and Ahsoka are stranded in another galaxy, but at least they can be comforted.
It's fine. They're gonna find a space whale or something. Relax. Don't worry about it. Don't think too hard about it also.
By our last member berry, the Force Ghost of Anakin.
Yes. Yes.
That's right, Anakin.
Whoa!
Star Wars,
Anakin
baby.
Skywalker.
Oh my god!
And here ends another pointless adventure from Disney and Lucasfilm on D+. Ahsoka.
Honestly, what was accomplished in this? Well, what was accomplished in this whole series? Does anyone know? I don't. What happened? What was the point of any of this? Aren't they just YOLOing through life?
A show that completely ignores the real Last Jedi, so the other Last Jedi could look for another Last Jedi while being pursued by a former Last Jedi. And I still marvel that people think that Disney Star Wars is about something and that it's going somewhere. This is just the latest example. It's not. But
I think it's just about crossing your arms and looking into the distance somewhere and saying like slow, strange things that don't actually make sense.
Sure, I still have some questions concerning Season 1 of Ahsoka. What was calling to Balin across the universe that wasn't the witches of Lucasfilm?
A pocket pussy. The best in the galaxy.
Balin said he was training his little Pomeranian to be something else. What was that? What was Thrawn loading into?
The pocket pussy. The best in the galaxy.
It was Star Destroyer. Why would you cast Wes Chapman from The Expanse and just make him a stormtrooper taking orders? How did Sabine become a...
That's so true. Considering The Expanse is unironically the absolute best of all time. Space Odyssey science fiction thing ever. If you have not... let me just say this. If you have not watched The Expanse, you should. It's beyond amazing, okay? It is the best thing. 300 billion Star Warses would not even, be the equivalent of a candle to The Expanse. Go watch it. It's really good.
Jedi in 5 minutes. Why didn't Ezra take his lightsaber back from Sabine? Oh, I know the answer to this one. Lucasfilm wanted to represent a man refusing to take his dick back. Why does Hera always have those fucking goggles on her head that she never uses? How did Ezra...
They're space goggles. They prevent the space air from coming in your eyes. It's so obvious, like, come on.
Avoid detection on Thrawn's Star Destroyer on a trip between galaxies. How did Ezra steal one of Thrawn's shuttles on Thrawn's Star Destroyer without being detected? How did Ezra find the New Republic?
Now, I unironically think I know the answer to that. Because a stormtrooper woman was fed up with the Empire, she understands her bad ways, and now she's on the redemption arc, and that is why she helped Ezra. Because obviously a woman needed to help him for him to succeed. And there we go. Another protagonist. Yeah. I think that's scarily likely, though.
Republic ships of a new republic that didn't exist the last time he was in this galaxy. Why did all of this happen off screen? Since we heard lines like,
It's aired.
Well, to be honest, I think it's better that it happens off screen than on screen so we can save the cringe.
To the Empire.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Why didn't
also that robot is supposed to be really, really smart, but that doesn't matter.
somebody say we're in the middle of some Star Wars? But Disney would like to thank everyone for consuming current Disney Marvel content and promises that something may or may not happen in next Disney Star Wars content. At this point, I don't know what else there is to say, but I have to admit, I don't think there's any better representation of female empowerment than Ahsoka. A bunch of boring women in space getting lost. And this is just the latest example of one of the biggest failures in entertainment history. Ahsoka is everything wrong with Disney Star Wars. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you heard, I thank you for listening this long. I will see
everyone liked what they heard.
You in the next video.
Nerdrotic.com.
Ah, that's really loud, Nerdrotic. Anyway, that was Nerdrotic, and there's Nerdrotic Daily, arguably the better Nerdrotic channel, as strange as that is, but it is what it is. Anyway, amazing. 10 out of 10. This was Quizzer Said, thanks for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.